We finally got everyone into their cars. I got into my step-grandpa's brand new Lexus, and as he backed in the driveway, he almost ran over the flower girl. Welcome back to another week of me reacting to your wedding stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. We've got a really long story to read today, so I want to jump right in. But first things first, Ferris and Sloan fans, you are not going to want to miss this. My new book, Here Comes the Drama, A Ferris and Sloan Story, is coming soon, and part 1 will be free exclusively to my newsletter subscribers. So if you want to get part 1 free and also the pre-order link before everybody else, sign up for my newsletter at the link below. I cannot wait to share this story with you guys. It's been so much fun to write, a lot of work, but so much fun seeing it all come together. So that will be very soon. Estimating that the first part will be available the first or second week of May right now, and then pre-orders will be available that same day for the full book. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get the content depending on your own preferences. So that's all I have to say for now, but sign up for the link if you want to know first and be a part of that list that gets the first part free. Okay, now on to today's story. Like I said, this is a long one, so bear with me, but I think it's going to be a good one. All right, this is my wedding drama story. When my husband and I got married in 2010, we had agreed to invite 120 guests. We paid for half the wedding and my dad covered the other half. We decided on a no children rule, except we made an exception for our nieces, nephews, and my uncle's daughter. He was a single father. Okay, I mean, I feel like that makes sense. People are weird about the kids or no kids. I personally think if you allow your nieces and nephews there, that's not the same as saying, you know, my boss's kid or my second cousin's kid. It's up to you what you want for your own wedding. But nieces and nephews, I feel like, are different. Like, we did nieces and nephews at my own wedding because, like, they're family and they're important to us. So I don't know, everyone has their own opinions on that. Okay, my husband wanted to invite his old neighbors, people who lived across the street from his mom when he was growing up. We invited the husband, wife, and 3 of their adult children. In total, they had 6 children. Oh, okay. So they chose 3 of the adult children to invite. I'm wondering if the younger ones are children age still. The oldest daughter we invited was friends with my husband's oldest sister. The son we invited was a close friend of my husband's. And the third guest, their 17-year-old daughter, whose birthday happened to be on our wedding day, was best friends with my husband's sister. Okay, so they all had a close relationship with these siblings, or these kids, I should say. Before the wedding, the mother reached out to my husband and asked if she could bring her other 3 children, all under the age of 14. We explained that unfortunately we didn't have room and we were not inviting children. She said that she understood and it was not a problem. Okay, clear communication, asking the bride. I do think the age cutoff's kind of weird. Like, why invite a 17-year-old but not a 14-year-old? So that's interesting. Like, I've heard of 18 or 21. Like, we did 21 at my wedding because we're like, only nieces and nephews other than, 21 and older. So to invite a 17-year-old, I feel like is not much different than 14, but I don't know. Teach their own. Okay, the morning of the wedding, I was getting ready at my mom's house. My mom and sister were not on speaking terms at the time, so my sister stayed at her boyfriend's house with her son. She had told me she had a ride to the hair salon, but she didn't, so I had to go pick her up, which thankfully was only a 10-minute detour. She had also told me that she would pay for her own hair, but on the day of the wedding, she said she didn't have any money, so I had to cover it. Okay, I see what's kind of happening here. After the salon, we all returned to my mom and stepdad's house to finish getting ready. One of my bridesmaids had an allergic reaction the week before, oh my gosh, and the medication she was given caused her body to swell. When she tried to put on her dress, the zipper broke in the back. Oh no, oh that's terrible. I'm more like, I would feel like so embarrassed, like I feel so bad for her. Meanwhile, instead of going directly to the venue, my mom's side of the family started showing up at her house. Oh, interesting, okay. At one point, everyone was saying my name, asking different questions all at once while I was running late. We finally got everyone into their cars. I got into my step-grandpa's brand new Lexus, and as he backed in the driveway, he almost ran over the flower girl who had walked behind the car. Thank goodness for the backup camera. Oh my gosh, that's like already stressing me out. Okay, like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. That's scary. Like, when there's so many people doing their own thing and like trying to run around, like, yeah, like let's not hurt anybody or run over anyone with their cars today. At this point, I was 30 minutes late for my own wedding. Oh my gosh, the stress is building up. This is why, like, and everyone teach their own. Like, some people love like the big like get together before the wedding day, like all the family at the house, like my big fat Greek wedding style, like all the aunts and cousins friends and everything. Me, I'm like, here's my few select, here's my bridesmaids, let's get ready. I don't want to see extended family right now. I don't want to see other guests because I need to like focus, because that's very chaotic to start your day that way. But I know a lot of people do it that way, and that's okay. Okay, the venue drama. Here we go. At the venue, my grandma was busy walking around with her new video camcorder. Oh my gosh, acting like she was the photographer. My aunt had asked her if she could help sew my bridesmaid's dress so she could at least make it down the aisle. My grandma's response, I can't because today is Nicole's day and I need to focus on her. Thankfully, my aunt stepped in to save the day. Like, I get it. I mean, it's hard putting grandma on the spot to be like, hey, can you fix this dress? Maybe she just doesn't want to. And she can have her own boundaries and she can say no. But I get it. You're probably all stressed and like, you're like, grandma knows how to do this. Meanwhile, being videographer following you around. Now we were an hour late. Just as I was about to walk down the aisle, my other grandma came running in trying to find a seat. She had just arrived. The ceremony itself went well, except for my husband's uncle. Instead of staying in his seat, he kept moving around, standing off to the sides and even being behind us, which means he ended up in a bunch of our ceremony photos. What? Why is the uncle walking around getting behind you guys? See, and this is one of those things you wouldn't even think like, oh, I'll need security or I'll need my day of coordinator to make sure people don't do that. You think most people are adults. They're going to know to sit in their seat for the, 20, 40 minutes it's going to be. I mean, it's different for everybody, but this is what a day of coordinator or like usher or, those kind of people can make sure people stay seated. Again, I've never seen this happen before. After the ceremony, everyone went inside for cocktail hour while we took our pictures and then made our grand entrance. Okay, next part, the wedding crashers. Once we were finally seated at our head table, I started looking around and realized my husband's old neighbors had brought extra people. Oh my gosh. The husband couldn't attend, so the wife let her son's girlfriend, someone we had never met, take his place. Why do people think this is okay? Not only that, but she also brought along her two younger sons, even though we had specifically told her no. They took chairs from another table to squeeze in the extra guests. Okay, so it starts off with the son's girlfriend. So in her mind, she's like, my husband can't come, so we'll just like swap them in. And, I've seen this happen before where it ends up working out fine, whatever, that's fine. It's fine, but it's not fine. Like, I'm like, okay, you know what? We break even. Like, let's just not worry about it, okay? But to then have two extra people come in, your sons that you already specifically asked about and were told no, is just completely disrespectful. The fact that you wanted to communicate and you just didn't get the answer you wanted, so you pretended everything was fine. Like, come on. Like, what is going on here? And then taking chairs from another table, like, no, why are we doing that? Luckily, the head venue coordinator, here we go, was understanding and handled it without making a scene. Well, that's good. Later, things took a petty turn when the neighbors loudly sang happy birthday to their now 18-year-old daughter in the middle of our wedding reception. So they turned it into like a little birthday party for her. They even brought out a birthday tiara for her to Stop. This is insane. Okay. My maid of honor confronted her in the bathroom as nicely as possible, explaining that this was a wedding and that she shouldn't be wearing a crown when it was someone else's big day. The girl took off the crown, but as soon as she walked back into the reception, she made direct eye contact with the maid of honor and put it back on. This is insane. It's not even like close family. I mean, no matter what, it's bad and it's tacky, but to be like, the husband's like old neighbors. It's not even someone he's like regularly seeing, is not close with the younger siblings. Oh my gosh, this is insane. My maid of honor then approached the girl's mother, which led to an argument involving her, the mother, and another neighbor my husband had invited. They kept asking, well, what does your husband think? As if my opinion didn't matter. This is terrible. Eventually, they stopped, and the girl took the crown off for good. The next day, the 18-year-old was being petty on Facebook, claiming I didn't want her wearing the tiara because I was ugly and jealous because she looked better than me, whatever, LOL. That is insane. You just don't do that. Like, I'm never going to go to someone else's event wearing like a tiara or a crown and have like my family sing to me. We don't know what part of it was like her mom doing it, but sounds like she's enjoying, being like looked at on her birthday. They're probably like, your 18th birthday is gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be this big party and we're gonna have the crowd sing and dance around you. Okay, next section says more wedding crashers. Later in the night, I saw my mother-in-law talking to a tall man I had never seen before. When I approached them, he smiled and said he was happy for us, called me a beautiful bride, and walked away. My mother and I looked confused at each other and said, who was that? It turned out he was a friend of my husband's cousin from Maryland. We had had invited her without a +1, but she showed up with her parents, sister, brother-in-law, her boyfriend, whom we didn't even know she had, his daughter, and 2 friends from Maryland. They all driven 4 hours from Maryland to Pennsylvania. Wait, so they had that whole group that was invited, and then she still brought a friend? So it sounds like she brought a friend and a boyfriend. I'm so confused. So many extra people. Like, if you're not on an invite, do not go. If you don't get a +1 on your invite, do not bring someone. Because typically if you're inviting family, if it's like a younger cousin, you might not invite a +1, like, or a boyfriend, because like they're going to be with their cousins, their siblings, their parents. It's more of like a family type wedding then. So if she didn't even know you had this boyfriend and you're going to show up with it, like no, these are all like wedding faux pas. Like, don't do that. At least her group didn't cause drama, and they gave us a card with $100. So silver lining, I guess. She's very positive. The end, and a happily ever after. She has this all like broken up into like nice little like sections. I appreciate that. It says, that pretty much sums up our crazy wedding, but despite all of the chaos, my husband and I have been happily married for 14 years and just welcomed our 3rd baby. Yay, congratulations. At least now we can laugh about it. Oh my gosh. Okay, that makes a crazy good story. I just cannot believe the audacity of some people. I'm glad you're able to look back on it now and laugh and just be like, well, that was our wedding. It was a crazy day. But seriously, the audacity of some people. You had not one table of random guests showing up, singing happy birthday and making a big stink and causing a scene about it. And then you also have random guests just showing up. It blows my mind when people act like that. I mean, I'm glad everything turned out okay. I feel like after the neighbors would have started the argument, I feel like I would have been like, you know what, maybe just go. But again, she might not have known about any of this, and props to anyone that like took over and just handled it. Props to the maid of honor for just like taking control and being like, hey, this is not okay. We're gonna situate this. Because you need people like that to kind of block out the drama. I think a lot of times you want to tell the bride and groom to be like, hey, look, I did this for you, or like, this is what's going on, but just let them live in their like wedded bliss for that day. They want to find out about it later, sure, but just don't bother them with it, because this is insane. And it would just cause more stress during the day that you just don't really need. All right, guys, well, that was a crazy story. I sometimes am just so shocked by these. Thanks for hanging out with me. Of course, as a little reminder, if you want part 1 free of my new book, Here Comes the Drama, A Ferris and Sloan Story, make sure you sign up for my newsletter below, and when it's available, it will come to you first in your inbox, as well as a link to pre-order the full book. I cannot wait for you guys to read it. All right, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.